Hi, MIT 2015. My name is Priya, and I'm a graduating senior in Course 2, Mechanical Engineering.
My name's Samir. I'm a graduating MBA in Course 15, and we're excited to share with you the interview we did with this year's commencement speaker, Megan Smith.
You'd be hard-pressed to find someone more in love with MIT than Megan. Not only did she get her bachelor's and master's degrees here, but she came back to now serve on the board of MIT.
Included in her long list of achievements, she was most recently VP of Google X before transitioning to her current role as the Chief Technology Officer at the White House. Enjoy the interview. We're really excited to be able to share more about you with the graduating class of MIT 2015.
Thanks. It's an honor to be here, and I'm so excited. What a force that this class is going to be.
We're really excited to talk to you for a couple of reasons, but one of them is the fact that you are breaking down barriers, not only for women to be in tech, but for women to be in government. And you've been in awesome positions, from Google X to co-founding the Malala Fund and serving women, to creating Planet Out in the 90s for LGBT people, and now you're at the White House. So can you talk a bit about how service has played a role in your life?
Yeah, and it's actually really relevant with MIT because in a lot of ways, service is one of the things that you see as a theme that students, are part of over and over and over again. If I think of my class, that if I look at your classes that are, graduating and where MIT has been, service is a big deal. And what's cool with MIT is that we have people who, for whatever reason, have come to love science and technology and are aware of how to use those tools in order to make great change in the world. Sometimes it's in a very pure science way, through discovery of things, and look at, amazing Nobel Prize winners and others in science and, basic discovery areas. But sometimes it's a very applied area, like I went to school with Amy Smith, who's on the faculty now, doing just extraordinary work, with the teams around development engineering at MIT and bringing really great collaborations with people all over the world who might not have the design resources and time of the MIT students, who bring that ingenuity together with the ingenuity of colleagues from poorer places in the world to develop extraordinary solutions. So I believe in service is like a core part of technology, and I love to use tech and science and innovation for basically helping make the world a better place, helping reduce our impact on the planet, helping people collaborate better, helping bring sort of a peaceful, more engaged society into being together.
You have a long history at MIT. You got your bachelor's here and your master's. You came back to serve on the boards of MIT, the Technology Review, Draper. How has MIT changed over the years, and how has it stayed the same?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And also, I just encourage everybody, take the parts that are interesting to you and stay involved in them. It might be your living group, it might be, sort of a sport you played, or theater, or music, or student government, or whatever kinds of things, or something informal, or the lab that you're in, the Europe you had. All of those pieces, like, you can stay connected to MIT. And one of the things that's great, actually, with a big change, is really the internet has changed MIT. I think that I had a really interesting experience because I was a mechanical engineering student, and so I did my undergrad, and then I was there when Project Athena came, which was really the beginning of the web being, or the internet being available. It was really before, if this was before the web, but it was, and then I was in Media Lab as a grad student, and we had email. And just even the basic difference of using email together as a collaborative community in the Media Labs in the 80s versus the mechanical engineering students who didn't really have that yet as a way of doing. We sort of had it, but we didn't use it in the same way. The classic Media Lab thing is, hey, there's an art opening downstairs, there's food, and all the grad students, swarm. Just a way to be in community. Or, hey, 6 a.m., who's still here? I think, whatever restaurant's about to open, sort of whoever's pulled all-nighters, where are you sleeping in the building, trying to find people, classic MIT behavior. And so we didn't have that. And so I think people were more isolated in their labs in those days, where I think the community's been able to blossom and bloom in ways that it always has had. MIT has always had extraordinary community and collaboration, but I think it's created a much friendlier, happier, more integrated campus in some ways, which has been really great.
I think you'll be happy to know that if you don't already know, that free food listserv has evolved rather extensively.
People are like, come here.
How do you envision MIT will change in the future?
Yeah, it's so exciting right now. It was in the board when we were working on discussions of edX. One of my favorite things, if you go into the Infinite Quarter and you're walking between sort of from building 7 towards building 10 and take a right on building 3. You go down that corridor. There's a little display from the libraries that has maybe the first dozen years of MIT. And one time I was looking at it and I realized that I'm going to get it 18, maybe 65 or 4 is when the first time we started teaching classes. You'll notice that we taught for free in the evening. So from day one, this idea of open courseware and edX has been part of MIT. There's a really famous lecture that former President Paul Gray mentioned that Edwin Land wrote, which really is apparently the foundation of the Europe program. It's filled with this idea of coming to school and being in a much more hands-on experience, coming into the labs of all our amazing faculty, and really having a Da Vinci-like experience with them where you get to explore in the directions you want to go, and you can take the classes as you need them. And hopefully in some ways Europe becomes more of what we do, this hands-on thing, and the classes or lectures kind of become only the most extraordinary performed lectures that we want to go see live, and the rest can happen in a more iterative, flipped classroom way.
You've been at the helm of some tremendous platforms to make change, whether it's at Google X, MIT, or the White House. What are the things that you're worried your kids will face? What are the challenges that are keeping you up at night?
There's a pretty intense list of those things, whether it's climate change or critical inclusion things, unfairness and poverty, amazing work that people are doing at MIT and other places around the world around biological threats, Ebola issues, medicine, and that. I'm a card-carrying optimist, so I really work towards solutions of things. What I'm trying to do is unlock talent and help people with whatever it is they're incredibly passionate about doing, help enable them to do that and get people more access to resources, including each other. Really good example, we just had a tech meetup here at the White House of all the tech meetup organizers. And one of the things that's interesting is not only are there these extraordinary things that many people who will listen to this will know about and probably have been to one or know what that is. They know what a TEDx is. They know kind of what a hackathon would be or how you might gather. A lot of people have never had that experience. And yet they're incredibly talented, powerful people who could be playing in that way too. So how to kind of upgrade everyone. The CEO of Amex says constancy of values and constancy of reinvention. Yeah. And so how do you kind of scrub everyone into this new way of working and collaborating and being and making sure people have these resources that they could. I love the president's My Brother's Keeper initiative that he did. It really speaks to me personally because it's not okay that 1 in 3 African-American boys in the United States are going into the criminal justice system at some point. What are we doing to make sure that those incredible colleagues of theirs on the planet, are getting included into this and getting to go to tech meetups and hackathons and all of that too, and figure out what they want to do, what videos and stories and movies and apps and incredible laws or whatever do they want to make to put their impact on the world that we can include them. How are we working with young women around the globe and young men, children who face extreme issues. Malala and her father and her family were amazing people to work with. How do I unlock the talent of Malala and her father and her family and those around her to do their thing? What will they bring in the world? By the way, her favorite subject is physics. Yeah. Nice little MIT tie-in there.
To switch gears a little bit, what do the first 60 minutes of your day look like from when you wake up? Do you have any daily or weekly routines that you credit success to?
It changes those first 6 minutes. We have 2 boys, so I'm doing lots of stuff, getting them up and going for school. Checking email, getting coffee, running around sort of free for all, and then getting over here to the White House. A lot of people talk about some kind of work-life balance. I don't think there's any balance. I think there's a lot of juggling of things, and people do it, and you can do it too. For example, people just have been through this whole MIT experience, right, where there's no way you could do all the things that are assigned to you. You just have to sort of juggle it and do your best and include some awesome social time with friends and some downtime and some athletic time. One of the key things is recognizing being part of collaborative teams is incredibly important because no one person can do all the things. I was lucky when I was in Media Lab, Woody Flowers was one of my advisors, and so was Alan Kay. And Alan had at the time he was an Imagineer at Disney, and he had been at Xerox Park early on. In fact, there's a drawing he made from the 70s of these kids sitting under a tree with basically holding, tablet iPads, just so visionary. And he always said he tried to focus in on what were the things that he was good at and what was he not good at, and not get worried about the things that he was not good at, just find teammates who loved doing that, and then just get together and go. And I once got to have a conversation with Richard Branson, and he sort of said the same thing. I think that's pretty good advice.
So finally, and most importantly, what is your favorite way to nerd out? Are you playing with Arduinos, Google Glass?
Hey, I actually have like a Raspberry Pi. And I always like taking these around because I try to get people to realize, like, here's your phone. The little board inside of here, is just like Steve Jobs had. Like, this is Homebrew Computer Club for now. So I take them around to kind of demonstrate, like, things are made of something. My main focus is again, it's more around people these days. Having an amazing time working with the teams here. The government is filled with so much talent. And so how do we use this scale to kind of unlock that talent and get things moving on behalf of the American people in the world?
I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us and sharing your story with the other MIT graduate class of 2015.
Sure. It's an honor to have been asked to speak, and I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone and to that incredible day in June that's coming up soon. Bye.